Welcome to Booking the Wrestle, ladies and gentlemen. If you see my update, you understand that currently I have a kidney stone that I have to pass. And I'm in pain, so if I seem to pause and just cringe a little bit, please bear with me. I'm trying not to interfere with your enjoyment of my content. So I hope you understand. Now, if you've seen the title from this and the thumbnail, this is John Cena versus The Undertaker. Now, this is something that many people have been talking about for many years. And we'll probably talk about this years beyond because we don't know when The Undertaker's retiring. We know right now because I did see Raw. I just couldn't do a review of it. We know that Sting is going into the Hall of Fame. We just don't know if The Undertaker this year is going in. Now, we don't know if there's going to be a match between those two. But there's a match that needs to be done. And as much as Vince wants to say it's not necessary, it is. John Cena has only faced The Undertaker at, I think, Vengeance. I could be wrong about the year. I know I'm right about, pretty much about the year. It was around 2006, the last time they really interacted in a match. I'm not sure if it was Vengeance or what other pay-per-view at that time. I'm not sure. I just remember them actually having a match in Vengeance. I know there was another time before that or after that, around 2006, that they had their last match facing one another. Now, many people speculated the reason why these two have never really had another feud or another match. If it's ever been on a house show, we've never seen it unless people talked about it. So this is going to be John Cena versus The Undertaker going into WrestleMania 32. This has to be done. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to book The Undertaker, I'm going to book John Cena, and I'm going to probably book their match at WrestleMania. I don't know if this is going to be a 3-parter or a 4-parter. I'm trying to hope to make it 3 parts. With Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, I had to make it 4 because Bray needed more build. And I didn't want to make the video that long. So this is about The Undertaker. The way things went for the history of The Undertaker when it went to WrestleMania 30. I am completely bypassing that. He will not lose his streak. Just like it was for Bray Wyatt facing The Undertaker when I booked him. This has got to be done for John. You can like John, you can hate John, you can be indifferent about John, but let's be honest. John Cena needs the streak. He deserved the streak because he's the most built person they've had in a decade. No matter if you think the build sucked or not. So this is how it's going to go. In WrestleMania 30, I'm going to book The Undertaker going against The Rock. Instead of The Undertaker going in Brock Lesnar. So the build beforehand, The Rock said what he needed against The Undertaker. The Undertaker said what he needed. And he came out pretty much how he would be in WrestleMania 31. A much more fitter, more energetic Undertaker compared to he was in WrestleMania 30, which he looked not in very good shape. He didn't look like he was really there. And in this case, The Undertaker would win that match. Hands down, he would defeat The Rock. And from there, I would build throughout 2015. Through 2015, he would go up against a Bray Wyatt who, at that time, would not be built that well. But it has to be done because he is the Eater of Worlds. And I want to give The Undertaker an easier win than he would against The Rock. So that would be done. I would also have The Undertaker go up against Seth Rollins by SummerSlam. And Seth would have the title at the time. Yes, I'm actually giving The Undertaker the title. But it does not mean he's going to keep it. So he goes up against Seth and he wins the title. And for the next couple of months, he will be keeping it and defending it. He's going to be seen throughout the entire year, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't about The Undertaker only coming back once. This is a year-long thing for The Undertaker to build into next year to WrestleMania 32. It has to be done. So this is 2015. So currently, he has the title. Currently, he is the man. And Vince doesn't like it because he'd rather have Seth. So he basically sicks whoever he thinks is possible to go up against The Undertaker. He sends Rusev after The Undertaker, which at that time wouldn't have been built that badly. And I will be doing Rusev eventually. I would pick Rusev back in 2014 when he was still in a very good rise And he was doing very well before he met Cena himself and was destroyed. And he gets destroyed by the Undertaker. Sheamus goes up against the Undertaker, but not the 2015 Sheamus. The 2013 Sheamus wasn't too bad, so I would pick him against the Undertaker, and the Undertaker would defeat him as well at Battleground. Now, going into Hell in a Cell, there's only one person I can think of to go up against the Undertaker in Hell in a Cell. And in this situation, it's going to be a little different than what you normally expect. You see, it's not going to be Kane. It's not going to be Triple H. It's not going to be Batista. It's going to be Sting. Now, picking it now, of course, it kind of ruins how it would be in WrestleMania 32. But the thing is, I'm not booking Sting to go into WrestleMania 32. And I'm going to book Sting. And I will be booking Sting in a separate video. And I'm going to book Sting going against Undertaker in their opposing video as well. But in this respect, the match that he had with Seth Rollins would not happen. He would have a match at Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker. The match that is a signature match for The Undertaker directly. Something that Sting has never done himself. He's been in steel cage matches, but he's never been in a Hell in a Cell match. Now, the build up into that would be that basically Sting would come back around, he would come back around SummerSlam. And when the icon would appear, would be right after the match with The Undertaker dealing in SummerSlam, the one I just mentioned. When his match was over, he comes out, he sees The Undertaker, has his bat, he points it at The Undertaker saying, "You're the one I want." And instead of them having matches after matches like the WWE is booked, no content, this is going to be all content. I know a lot of times people would say, we can't just do content. A lot of times, you got to have a lot of interaction to a certain extent. There's going to be very little interaction between these two. We know The Undertaker can talk. We know Sting can talk. 80% of the time, they're going to talk. 20% they'll have interactions, which will be fights. Kind of like the fight between The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar before the match in WrestleMania 30. That the Stinger would say, "You thought you were better than me. I didn't fail in my promotion. I kept my promotion going. It was because of Ted Turner and Bischoff my promotion went under. I did my business. I am the best at keeping a promotion alive because it would have died years ago." You know what The Undertaker says? Taker says, "I understand you. We've done the same thing. But here's the difference between me and you. What company am I in now? It makes no difference that Bischoff ruined it. It makes no difference Ted Turner ruined it. The point is, this is still here. And you're in my house. I don't care how hard you worked. I respect it, but I don't care about it. You're nothing compared to me. You're a has-been, and as they've said back during the time of when the invasion angle came, and Booker T came, and he faced The Rock. Who are you? That would set off Sting. Excuse me. I kind of moved a little hard and it hurt. But that set off Sting, and that made Sting want to fight. And for several months going into Hell in a Cell, that's the way it would be. Going back and forth, getting angry, and they basically would have a brawl. No matches at all. They wouldn't have matches towards each other. Of course, they both have to have matches. So Sting would have his respective matches. The Undertaker would have his respective matches, but neither one of them would actually be allowed to touch one another in a match. They wouldn't have no tag team match. They wouldn't have no triple threat match. They wouldn't have nothing that would interact with each other. They would both be doing matches separately, beating everyone they prospectively went up against until they went to Hell in a Cell. And in the end, The Undertaker would win that match. And he would still have the title by then. He would. By TLC, he would drop it. And the person he would drop it to, because this is not about The Undertaker carrying the title into WrestleMania 32, because the title that he's already carrying, that he's held for 20 years, is his streak. He doesn't need to keep the title. So he drops that title right on to the person that so many people in the WWE, so many people in the YWC community wishes to come back. And that would be Daniel Bryan. I'm giving it to Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan is still loved by a lot of people. I will be doing a booking the wrestler for him. And it will not be this, because they're dropping it to him on purpose because they just don't want The Undertaker to carry it going into WrestleMania. They don't. So he will drop it in TLC, which will be December. And going into January, that is when he deals with John Cena. So I will be building John Cena next. I hope you enjoyed this booking the wrestler. Please give me a comment below. And I will be doing that as soon as I can. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace.